Hello, so here is how to generate unlimited leads using Twitter DMs in 2025. I'm going to show you how to scrape thousands of qualified leads from Twitter in a 100% automated way. And this is the same actual system that I've used to scrape over 100,000 Twitter profiles in less than 10 minutes using our software Scrapely without any coding or manual work. So I'm going to show you how that you can find your ICP on Twitter and 1,000 plus of them actually being on there and active and qualified for your offer. So this is the same lead gen system we've used for our customers to generate a $2,500 close deal with a 9-figure e-commerce brand just from Twitter cold DMs alone. And also the same lead gen system that we use to get 2 to 3 leads per day for our done for you clients. So I'm going to show you how that you can use Scrapely and Clay.com to generate and qualify unlimited Twitter leads automatically. And you're going to learn how to actually find these lead sources to scrape from, how to scrape any leads from any Twitter account online, and then filter for qualified leads using Clay's AI filters or Scrapely's keyword filter. And I'm going to show you how to use both. Okay. So first of all, you want to go over to Grok because it's going to be the best AI by far that can actually pull from Twitter and pull real live data, not like ChatGPT or Claude that can't really do that as well because Claude is literally made for Twitter, right? So we're going to go over to Grok and I'm going to put this document in the description so you can just click on all of the links and copy paste everything with me, right? Now, I'm going to use as an example over here e-commerce brands, right? So I'm going to say, find me a list of 10 active Twitter accounts with less than 50,000 followers that talk about, I'm going to say, DTC e-commerce brands, right? And are followed by many, let's say, DTC e-com owners, store owners. They should not be, let's say like they should not be drop shippers, right? Drop shippers. They should be like established e-commerce brands, be precise and to the point, right? So I said less than 50,000 followers because when it gets more than that, most of the time the follower quality just gets very diluted. And because of that, you could have people from other niches that are going to be following it. So let's say if you scrape Alex Hormozi's followers, well, there's going to be just a lot of different business owners in general there, since he has so many followers on Twitter, almost a million, that it's just not going to be really useful to scrape his followers. Although you can, it's just going to waste a lot of time and scraping and filtering time, right? So now you can go over here, click onto enter, and then Grok is going to start searching. And within about 10 seconds, you're going to find 10 profiles that you can scrape from. And, now we can go ahead and visit them and see, hey, are they qualified, right? So he looks qualified over here. He's helping founders at e-commerce fuel, and they're a community for 7 and 8 figure, brand owners. So we can just keep on going here, right? Another one, this is an e-commerce brand. So maybe not this one, but I want to have like actual personal brands, actual owners, right? Refresh. So Indian e-commerce businesses. Maybe we don't scrape that. Managing partner of, okay, yeah. So right off the bat, you can just keep searching and just keep clicking over here and say, okay, you have an e-commerce consultancy. You can go over here. Another thing that's important is to see, are they actually active in the last like 1 or 2 weeks? Have they been posting or commenting, right? Because otherwise their followers are not going to be very active, right? We can also then see, in their following, who are they following, right? It's going to be probably a lot of other e-commerce brand owners. So we can just get this and then find at least like 3 to 5 profiles that you think are high quality. And then you can go on to step 2, which is going over to Scrapely. So it's going over here and then getting over your free trial for those 7 days. So then you can start scraping with unlimited credits, unlimited lead scraping credits. So you're completely fine, right? Once that you do that, you're going to land into the dashboard. As soon as you sign up for your free trial, you can go over to find leads, right? So this is going to be really simple. All that you do is choose followers or following, and then get the handles of these profiles that you have in your other tabs. So let's say Andrew, gonna go over here, get his handle, or you can also get it from here. You don't want the @ symbol. And then we can go over here, scrape his followers, scrape as many as he has, about 18,000, right? And then put it inside of here. And then we can start scraping his followers and scraping his following, right? So that's what I would do for all of the profiles. It'll take you less than 10 minutes. And then it's going to give you a notification saying, hey, you've scraped all of the followers, right? So I'm going to do that quickly just for this profile, and then I'm going to come back when it's done. And just to show what's going to happen, you're going to see the progress bar scraping all of the followers, and then it's going to give you a little pop-up saying, hey, just refresh the page, and you'll get all of your leads that are scraped and put into your account. And then you can just keep on doing this for as many profiles as you want. And soon Scrapely is going to have a batch feature, so you can put all of the profiles that you want, all of the handles, and then say scrape all of their followers, so like just more than one at a time, or scrape all of their following. Another little pro tip is that if you scrape their followers, I would recommend scraping their following as well, because whoever that they're following, it's going to be less people, but it's going to be higher quality because people normally follow less people than they have followers, and they're more selective with it. So they're not just going to follow any random account, right? So these are going to be higher quality leads than normal. So that's why I recommend, if you just want the highest quality lead list, only scrape following, but I normally do following and followers to get more volume in there, right? So that's going to help you out, and I'm just going to come back when it's done scraping pretty much. Awesome, great. So then you'll see scraping job completed successfully, refresh the page. So you can click onto OK, and then you can just refresh the page, and then you'll see that your leads have been scraped. And then you can see here 17,000 leads. That was all of his followers. So we're going to go over to the fourth step, which is to export your lead list, which is pretty simple. You go over to find leads. You scroll actually over here to export leads. It just changed. So now we're going to go over to step 4, which is just export your lead list. So go over here, export, and then export the leads, and that's it. Yeah. So now that that's done, you're going to have the CSV inside of your files that has everything that you need. So now we're going to go over to the filtering and the enriching options, right? So the first option is to filter with clay.com, right? So you're going to go over to Clay, get a 7-day free trial, and then you're going to go over to the just main homepage, and then you want to go over here, click onto new, click onto workbook, okay? And in the workbook, I'll just title it, what is it? Gotta go here, Scrapely demo. And then here, you're gonna go over to here and then click onto import. Gonna go over to CSV, right? And then we're gonna just import it. We can get this over here and then upload the actual leads, right? So it's gonna be pretty simple. So you're gonna get thousands of leads there and complete the import, right? It's gonna start importing the columns and then the actual rows. It's just gonna take just 1 minute. And we're gonna use the AI to enrich and look at their bios and their names, right? So we're gonna use this prompt document over here that you'll find on the spreadsheet as well, right? So you wanna go over here, back to the Clay leads, and you can see it's dynamically importing all of the rows here, right? So you're gonna have their name, their handle, their following count, their description, their location if they put it there, and their website if they also have it there, right? So now we can just refresh the page and all of the leads should be there, right? So now what we're gonna do, this is very important, right, is that we're gonna use our own API keys instead of Clay's to look at the leads and see if they're qualified, right? So go over to add column, go over to use AI, go to configure, and then click onto use case and click onto create or modify content. We're not using Clayagent because Clayagent will just search the web and then it's just going to get incorrect matches and also costs a bit more. So just use create or modify content, which means it's only going to be using the data from the CSV and not from outside the internet, right? Go over to OpenAI and you can use either Gemini or GPT. I like both. There's also DeepSeek that I've heard is good, but for now, just use GPT-4o mini and then you can use your own API key. There's videos online about how to get it, but I know for Gemini, if you sign up for the first time, you can get $300 of free credit, so you can just keep on using it forever, which is great. And then over here, which is the prompt, which we're going to be actually putting in, right? So what this is going to be doing is we're going to look at their name and their description and see if they fit our ICP, right? So we're going to go over here. There's a few pre-built templates here for marketing agency. There's B2B SaaS. And then for us, it's going to be e-commerce brands, right? So this one I've already used and it's worked very well. So you can make your own, but here, this is just what I've been using and it's been working very well. So you can just copy it if your ICP is e-commerce brands, just like this example, because, this is all depending on your business and what that you're doing, right? But anyways, let's just copy this, put it into here, and then here for the name, we're just gonna delete it. So I'll put slash, click on name, go to username, slash, Twitter handle, and then their description, slash, description. Yeah. The provide context, you don't need to put anything here for now. Only run if, you want to go all the way to the bottom to run settings, click onto only run if, put it in slash description. So that way it's going to only run the column if their description is there, because some people do have just blank descriptions, right? And then the model settings, click onto that, click onto temperature and put it to very low, which means that the model, like basically the AI, is going to be outputting very consistent outputs instead of if you give it the same input 2 times, it's not going to output 2 very different responses. It's not going to be extremely creative and, have like a mind of its own pretty much, right? So that's what you're going to be doing. And that's the whole setup for this, right? So that's about it. You can click on to save and then save and don't run, right? It's not going to make that column over there. And what we can do to actually test this is that we can go over here, click onto one, drag it down. Let's say that I want to test the outputs for 30 columns. Just drag it down and click onto shift click. You'll highlight all of them. Then right click onto run 30 cells, and we'll just see, right? It's going to output yes or no based off of that. And the cool thing as well is that you can see the cost for each row that it costs you to actually run this, right? So it's going to say no, 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 right? And then it's going to say yes for some. And what that we can do is that we can cross-check this just manually ourselves. I'm just going to drag the description here so it's easier. Going to enlarge it, right? Then you can see here, okay, there's no e-commerce there. The run condition is not met because there's no description, right? By the way, all of this is super cheap because you can see for this, it only costs like 1/1000th of a cent, or like 4/1000ths of a cent. And to run 100,000 rows, it would be $4. So it's really cheap. And with Gemini, it's even cheaper, right? So you can then do this. And if you're happy with the outputs, right? Like let's just say that I am, then I can keep on going. If not, then you can look at it and then tweak the prompt based off what you want. This is really just who is your ICP. This all comes down to you. It's really hard for me to make a whole video explaining what to do because it just depends on, do you know that this person is your ICP? You can also visit them by just going to x.com and then putting in their Twitter handle, x.com/Mr. Road, right? So super simple. Once that you're happy with this, then what you can do is click over here, add as a column, right? And it's going to just add the actual output as a column. And then we can run it. So if you want to do, click over here, click on to run all 17,000 rows that don't have runs or errors, which just means it's just going to run all of this. And then you have your output. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Just going to go at it and then I'm going to come back when it's done, right? Okay, great. So while that is running, I'm going to go over the second option, which is completely free. It takes almost no time. It's very simple, but it's not going to be as accurate as the AI because the AI can actually look at their description and their name and their handle and see, hey, is this person qualified versus just keywords in their description, which can also be misleading, right? So this one is great if you just want to go fast though. So if you don't want to use Clay, you can use the keywords filters inside of Scrapely, which means you're going to go over to filter leads. Now you have all of your leads there. Let me drag this little recording thing out of there. And then you can filter for their followers or their, following, which you can also do onto Clay by just going here, go here, make a filter, go on to, less or more, however that you want to do it, right? I normally put the follower count at more than 100 just to make sure that way it kind of gets a good start, right? So let's go back. And then here is where that you would do this, right? So for their bio, you can make it so that, let's say I only want people who have marketing in their description or CEO or founder, right? Or co-founder. And I don't want people who have, let's say, crypto or NFT, right? So what this is going to do is exclude anybody who has crypto or exclude anybody who has NFT. And then it's going to include anybody with only one of these keywords or more, right? So it could be marketing, it could be CEO, it could be both, right? And then you just click on to apply filters, and then it's going to do that. And then you'll see your leads, how many are filtered, right? The percentage of those, right? And then you can actually look at them, go over to their Twitter handle and see, hey, are they qualified? And then just go off of that, right? So this is what pretty much 90% plus of the software users on Scrapely are doing, that they're just logging on, scraping the leads, filtering them like this, and then just making a DM campaign. And we've had people who get 5%, 8% reply rates with this, and this definitely does work. The only thing that I can see that doesn't make this really good, and that's why I still use Clay for most of the campaigns, is that if somebody has founder or co-founder or these kind of keywords, you won't know if they're an e-commerce brand founder or a software founder, and it's hard to know that without using AI to tell, right? So this can still work, but you can probably tell it has its nuances, right? I don't have to go on and on, but you can see which one do you want to do. You can test them both out, see which one works for you. I would definitely use the exclude keywords a lot, as well as just putting their followers at a minimum of 100. There's no real cap that I need, that I can't reach out to somebody. So then it can filter out a bit more for those leads, and then you can actually check them out, see what are they doing, right? So those are the two options. That way you can actually see, is the keyword one better? Is Clay better? And yeah, I'm just going to come back when Clay is done, and I'm going to export and show you kind of how that it works, okay? Also, as Clay is running, I just wanted to show how easy it is to find these qualified leads, because we only scraped one profile here, right? And we didn't even scrape his following, it was just his followers, right? So what we can do as it's running, and it's almost done right now, it's been less than 10 minutes, is you just go to click onto response, click on to filter this column. It's going to say where response equals to, and type in all capitals yes, okay? Then it's going to filter for that, and you can see we have 818 qualified leads here that we can then just reach out to right now from this scrape. So we'll probably have, once it's done running, 1,000 qualified leads that we can reach out to, right? And that we know are DTC e-commerce brands that are not drop shipping, right? So this really narrows down your ICP a lot versus if you just did co-founder and e-commerce and these things, which still work, but it's just another level of qualifying the leads, right? So this is what I would do. You can also build this in N8N, by the way, so you don't need Clay at all. It would be much cheaper in N8N, but this is just to visualize how it all works, so it's a lot easier, right? But you don't have to do this. Once you understand how it works, either code it, yourself, or we're going to add this into Scrapely soon as a feature for no cost, so you can just do it yourself. Really, really simple. But yeah, the goal here is to aim for at least 5 to 10% of the leads that you imported that are qualified. So let's say I have 10,000 rows instead of 17,000. My goal would be to get at least 500 to 1,000 qualified leads from this, which is what that we're getting with this KPI, right? So we're almost done. I'm just going to refresh. And then here you'll see that we have only qualified leads, right? So now what that we can do once it's done is that we can click onto actions, export, and then download the CSV, and it has to be with the filter, right? So when the filter is here, otherwise it's just going to export everything, and we don't want that, and it's just not going to work, right? So now it's almost done. Let me just refresh. 99%, it's almost done, yeah. And we see that we have 1,100 qualified DTC e-commerce brands that are not drop shipping, right? So yes, it's pretty much done right now. So what that I'm going to do is click onto actions, export, download CSV. It's then just going to export it for me, and that's it. I also wanted to show how that you can now import these leads into Scrapely. So you can just open up a Google Sheet here from the download from Clay that you did from actions, export, download CSV over here, right? It's going to just export it onto your computer, go over here, import it into Google Sheets, and then go over here, append to current sheet, don't touch anything else, import data. And then with this, what you can do, Scrapely demo sheet, is that you only want to import name, Twitter handle, follower count, following count, location, and website, and then description. And then we can just highlight these two and then click on to delete, right? And now once this is done, you can then re-download this, go to file, download, and then download as a CSV. And then you can see it's already downloaded there as the demo sheet. I can go back into Scrapely, and then I can go back into the dashboard, and then over here, I can import the leads from the CSV by just dragging and then dropping it. And then now I can just click on to import. It's just going to start importing, and then it's just going to give you a little green notification once it's done importing. And then you can refresh the page and you'll have your leads in there, right? Make sure when that you're doing this though, is that you want to go up here and then actually delete your leads, right? So there's going to be a button up here. This is just the demo account, but you can delete your leads. So after scraping them, export them into a sheet, delete them, and then only import back the qualified leads. So then you can start your campaign and not have 17,000 leads, but we're going to be importing the, what is it, like 1,100 leads, right? So that's how you do it. I've shown both ways about how to do this. This was a bit of a longer video, but this is really everything that you need to know A to Z. So you can just follow along, make an SOP, and then you can kind of just do this, right? And then step 3 also, if you want to automate the outreach, with this, then you can go over to Scrapely, do all of like the filters, then go over to DMing them, and then you can message them with, just not only like their first name as personalization, but their 20 recent tweets. Scrapely has all of that context for every single lead that you message to. So if you want to add something from their recent tweets or something, that's super helpful. Their bio, their website, all of the stuff, right? And then you can actually send personalized DMs with AI to people that are already qualified with AI as well. So it's really personalized outreach, right? So of course, if you want to try this out, you can automate all of your Twitter scraping. You have no limits on lead scraping or DMing people with AI credits. You can filter and export in less than 10 minutes like I just showed you. This whole video took me 20 minutes, and that's because I was explaining how this stuff works, right? And then you can integrate it with Clay or with Scrapely. It's going to be coming soon, that AI qualification feature, and you have no limits, right? So you can get started here with the free trial on the pricing page, and then Clay also, it's just clay.com. So yeah, hopefully this helped you out. If you want to obviously sign up and get the free trial, then you can do it down there. And if you want us to actually set up an entire Twitter outreach system for you to book you 15 to 20 calls per month with this, then obviously we have our done for you solution as well on the website that you can book a call. And if you're interested, then we can get started talking, right? So hopefully this helped you, and that's about it.